Welcome to Roxy on Art. I'm Roxlana, and joining us today for our discussion is Nicole and Neil. Thank you for joining us today. Yeah. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Well, we're married for 17 years, live in S1.E5, Saskatchewan. Mm-hmm. We're both local. I was born just outside S1.E5, and she was born in Stockholm. And yeah, what else you want to add?
Well, we actually we were married 13 years.
No, keep going.
Fine. How many years did I say?
17.
Feels like it.
So what art form do you guys do?
We're into music.
Nice.
Yeah.
We play in a band together, and he has another band he plays in Men Without Shame,
Mm-hmm.
and we play in Rock Candy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
We're a 5-piece.
So you are a cover band, correct?
Yes.
So how long have you guys been playing in Rock Candy together?
About 3 years, I think.
Yeah, we
Okay.
played in another band before that, together for 12-ish.
Wow.
And then another band before that for probably 3-ish.
Yeah, so I think we figured out that we were playing music together for about 17 years or so.
Okay.
So
Nice. So what was the
it's been
band?
a big part of our life.
What was the band before the 12-year one? That's
Offbeat.
Offbeat. Okay. So was that the first band you guys ever played together in?
No, we played in another band is actually where we met first. And then we decided we met some people that were the same age as us, and they were dating and we were dating, so we started a band Offbeat. And actually we had our kids, both couples had kids through that band and everything, and then when it's harder to play music with kids, it takes up a lot of time.
Right.
So when they decided to stay at home and do the more of a parent thing, we decided that we're going to keep playing. So we started another band with friends of ours, I guess now. And
2 are from Saskatoon, one's from Nokomis, and we're from Esterhazy. So it's a long distance relationship.
Yeah, no kidding.
It seems to work well.
yeah.
And I was going to say that the other people in our band in Offbeat, they got engaged. We got engaged. They got engaged on stage, actually.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
So we went through all the stages of life together. So it was kind of neat because we spent more time with them than we did our family.
So they became kind of your own little family.
They still are. They're still great friends.
Yeah, that's
And,
awesome.
Yeah, so they have 2 kids. We have 2 children as well, 11 and 7, and we never stopped playing for very long. I remember with my daughter, she's 7 now, but she was 3 weeks old. We had a gig back to back that weekend. So
After 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
we have great family and friends that come along with us, and
Yeah.
so,
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome that you have such a supportive sort of family structure there. So what do you guys play?
I play the drums. I have played guitars in band, but I'm a drummer by heart. I love playing the drums, I guess, just to get the frustration out and everything.
Yeah.
It's good. That's where I feel I'm the most expressive, and
Okay.
I like to be loud. I want to be the loudest. 'Cause I feel like you're never wrong if you're the loudest.
Oh, that's good. Oh. So what do you play? Yeah.
I play keyboard, so
Okay.
I have some technical background. I used to teach as well. I taught piano when I was younger and whatever. But play by ear, so that's how mostly figure everything out. So just listening to the song and figuring everything out. And I just love it because we can do it together. This is the biggest thing.
Yes, absolutely.
It's huge, yeah.
Yeah. So how has that affected your relationship? Because it's something that's so integral to it. Like you've always had music in there.
I think it's actually huge for us because, especially nowadays with all the technology that's out there, right, the cell phones and the TV and the access to everything, a lot of people don't talk. But we drive so many hours together, we get to spend that time just talking, right?
Yeah.
And I think in a relationship, talking is huge. You get everything out, right? So in that aspect, it's been huge. And then when you go on stage, I mean, the emotional connection you have with people that you're playing with, or the people that are watching, or that you're working with, whether it's the sound and lighting crew, or whether it's your bass player, or whether it's the guy in the front row, right?
Right.
That connection. So when you start making that emotional connection with other musicians or other people or other workers and stuff. And then when you have someone you're already strongly connected with, it gives off a whole different vibe. You know, it's just like hitting the, I don't know, like a turbo boost or something. You just, because you're at this level, but with somebody else, you just push it that little bit further. So it's a great feeling to have. For sure.
I love looking over and seeing my husband right there doing something that I love to do as well.
Yeah.
And it just, I watch him play drums and I fall in love all over again.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Oh, that's so cool.
Do you feel the same way?
Yeah. You don't play the drums. Maybe you play the drums.
Yeah.
So when did you guys start playing music in your lives? Like, was it early on in your life? And what kind of relationship did you have with it when you started?
I think I was about 4 years old when my mom and dad put me in, I think it's keyboard lessons. And then it just progressed from there. And I was in band and everything as well. So I do know how to learn or read music. And then, like I said, I taught in my teenage years. I taught piano and then after for a little bit. And yeah, that's how I started.
Yeah, I started pretty much the same way. My dad was actually a drummer in a band, a country band back in the day. So when he would come home from the gigs on the weekend, I would unload his drums and set them up and play.
You could barely carry them though.
Well, I'd take in little piece at a time, and eventually I got to the point where I was setting up his whole drum kit. Cause I don't know, I was fairly young. I'm guessing 5-ish, but
Oh, wow.
probably bought my first drum kit when I was about 7. And
Just went out 7, just picked up your own drum set, lifted it up.
I saved a lot of money, and my auntie had a drum kit she had for her boys.
Saving money doing what? 7?
Another story. We have a family business.
We have a family
Okay,
business. So I would get paid to do little odd jobs here and there. So I'd make a few dollars here and there, and I think I paid $25 or $50. It wasn't like a
Whoa.
amazing drum set. It was a big investment.
I'm jealous. Like, I wouldn't be able to do something like that at 7. I'll save up
Yeah.
some money and, invest in some drum kit. That's awesome.
So I did. I had that kit, and then I played on that for a lot of years. And
But you do remember sitting by your dad
yeah,
as he played drums.
we used to play. My dad used to play every once a year, maybe around Lake or so, and I'd crawl on the stage and sit behind his floor tom and just sit there and watch the band from behind the drum because I wasn't allowed in there. Right?
Yeah.
So they let me
That's
do that,
cute.
and then I don't know, I was probably about 14, and then they called me up on stage. No, I would have been younger than 14. Probably about 12 when I got to play on stage with the band.
Yeah.
Like just one song and get out of there. So, and then I started playing with a polka band when I was 15.
Drum still?
Yeah, still playing drums.
Okay, cool.
And mom and dad would take me to the guy's place and hop in the music van, and they'd drive me to the gig, and they'd drive home, and then my mom and dad would have to pick me up after the gig because I couldn't drive yet.
Yeah. Oh, that would be interesting.
Crazy, yeah.
And then you had a 3-piece band in high school with friends of yours
Yes,
too.
and yeah. That's right. Three young guys started. Then I played with some older people at that time too. Actually, one of the parents in the band I was playing with, I was going to school with. I was the same age as their kids, so it was weird, right?
Oh wow, yeah,
So
that is interesting.
So I'd go to a bar gig with these parents, and we'd play our show, and then come home Sunday, and the one guy was helping coach our hockey team I was on with his son. So I'd be doing stuff in the bar with dad on Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday playing hockey with the kids. So.
This is why he grew his goatee, he said, at 16. He grew it. So that he could
Gotta
go
look
in-
mature.
I didn't say go to the bar.
Oh yeah,
'cause
true.
I didn't have ID to get in the bar, so and Manitoba was real bad. They wouldn't let you in, so I grew this and just.
And that was your
pretend.
ID.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm old enough. Oh, that's funny. So that's interesting because through music you're able to form really unique relationships that you might not have been able to before, right? So
Really cool. One of the polka band I played in at first was I was 15 and he would have been 70. I don't know, 70 some years old.
Wow, yeah.
And and he actually was one of the first guys my dad played with. So it was cool. So to have that, like you said, I'm a young kid learning from a guy who's played. I think he played 50 some New Year's in a row. Like that's how consistent this guy played.
Wow.
So be able to play with him I was of course the youngest in the band by probably 50 years. 60 years.
That's a pretty big leap. Oh my God.
But it was the people, you just get along. It's not because
Yeah.
we went to hung out. I went to phone him and go for coffee, right? But because we're both musicians, it didn't matter that he was 70 and I was 15, or the saxophone player was 65 or whatever. It doesn't matter. You're just a musician, right?
Yeah, music is the unifier here, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it is now with our band. There's a varying range of age of people, but it seems like you get along. You're a family. And you have chemistry when you're on stage.
Yes,
And
you need that, right?
You do have to interact with them off stage to get that chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, even some of the places we've been able to go and towns we've seen in Saskatchewan and Manitoba and Alberta, we would have never gone there
Yeah.
if it wasn't for playing music.
Right.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
just kind of some neat places.
Yeah, so what's like the most interesting place that you went to that you'd never go otherwise?
Well, there's this town down south called Willow Bunch, and it was, their claim to fame was they had a real giant.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like the tallest man in the world or something.
Oh, okay. So
In
like
the-
an actual literal human
Yeah,
being.
20
Okay,
or-
cool.
In the 20s or 30s, I don't know.
Yeah.
So they,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't live in the-
Oh my! I thought you were like, oh hey.
and they have a museum and everything.
but who would go? It's just this tiny little town,
Yeah.
and we had so much fun there. So
Yeah, it was
I have to ask, how tall was this guy?
I don't
The
know,
constitute is a giant.
Just-
like 8 feet.
Oh,
I don't know
wow.
the
Yeah,
stats.
it was big. Yeah, we did look it through the museum, but that
Yeah.
that's a long
long time ago.
time
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
That was a cool. There's lots of cool, even all these there's cool little restaurants in these little towns that you would never go eat at even. You know what I mean? Or these little coffee shops or little art galleries or little museums, right? That are
Yeah.
like a museum like that museum down there was specific for that guy. Like it was just, it's not like, oh, here's a combine and here's another old combine.
Yeah,
It was like, this
right.
is just about one guy, one family in this area,
Yeah.
that you got to learn about, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is
And
neat.
even up north, like you get some of the northern areas, like with the rivers and the bridges and it's like, unless you're a fisherman or hunting or something, you'd never be up there. You know, so
But
this is-
you did take fishing poles and whatever. Like when they know they're going to be up north, you take a fishing pole with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
In
right.
between you.
Yeah, you make it
go
a
fishing.
trip too. Then.
So-
Yeah, and
yeah.
then, wow, it's so cool because, like I said, you'd never be up there. And then when you start talking, you already have connection. With playing music, you have to be somewhat personable, right? So you always talk to
Somewhat.
people. Yeah, So I talk to a lot of people, or we do, and then so when you're up in a little town, and that's one thing about Saskatchewan, these little towns, you can, people are nice. Like even
Yes.
Alberta, Manitoba, like the prairies are nice. So you talk
Yeah.
to somebody, and you just say like, I wanted to go fishing tomorrow. And most guys like, hey, I'm going fishing too. Or,
Yeah, yeah.
You come with me. We'll do. So it's really great to meet people, like especially through music. You get to meet all
Oh,
these
yeah.
people and do all the stuff you would not normally do, right?
Yeah, and
Like-
music really, like we were saying earlier, with you were in a band with someone who was 70, and like there's so many variations of like people, and like the commonality is being a musician. When I feel like when you're meeting new people, even outside of I guess the music world, you have that music that unifies it. We're like, oh, you play this song, I really like it, and you have something to kind of go off of instead of just being like, I'm a random guy, can you take me fishing somewhere?
Yes, that is.
Yeah.
It's a big door opener, right? To
Yeah.
have that
Yeah.
Yeah.
music just to be there for. And it's the thing with music, everyone either listens to it or likes it, right? Even if you don't like
Exactly.
it, you still hear music, so you're not. It's not.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like something that's totally different than people don't know about it. So, I mean,
Yeah, and it is something that we all commonly like music, regardless of, we all like our different
Yeah,
genres and
genres,
whatever,
exactly.
but we all appreciate music to some extent.
yes, for sure.
And even just throughout the years, going to different hotels. I mean, now we stay in some nice hotels. But
Yeah.
Back when we were starting with Offbeat, we would stay. I remember this one hotel. It was just above the bar,
Yeah.
like they usually are, but it would have. There was just one bathtub
Okay.
with orange water coming out of it. Like it
Oh.
was, and then you would have about 4 bedrooms up there, and it would just other people were staying up there, one bathroom. So yeah,
With orange water.
yeah, it was
That's nice.
interesting.
But that again brings a band together.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're in that together, right?
Yeah.
Either you go
And
while
it's
we're
memorable.
leaving.
Oh yeah.
Either we're leaving or we're staying, right? And you do as a band, and it's because I mean, you probably can't get most families to go. Yeah, I guess we'll stay here for the night.
No.
But
no,
as a
no
band,
way.
you're like, oh, I can't disappoint. Yes, if we're staying, we're staying, right?
Yeah.
So everyone stays, and yeah,
Yeah, and you share something together.
you
Yeah.
share an experience.
Oh, that's hilarious. So, you guys also have regular jobs on top of the music that you do. So, how do you balance those two things? Because it can be pretty hard to balance a creative outlet, especially something that's so consuming that you're on tours and you're out playing at venues that you have to actually travel to. Like, how do you, especially with family and kids, how do you balance that out?
I think the biggest thing is that we both understand, because it's huge to understand, like, with any art, it's a passion, right? It's not something I think I'm gonna do that. No, you have to do it. You don't have a choice whether it's drawing or playing the drums or playing the piano or painting or sculpting. You have to do it. It's in you. You can't stop.
And if you're not doing it, you're thinking about it.
Yeah. So because we both have that, we understand. Like, okay, we have to do it. So now it's
If there's a will, there's a way.
yeah. So now it's just a matter of making it work. So with me, I run a small business, so that allows me the freedom to leave when I have to.
Yes.
You know, and so that's huge. And then with Nick, she does most of the planning. So that allows us to be organized enough to leave. So if we can't take the kids for whichever reason and they have to stay somewhere, she's got it organized that they can go to someone's house and, you know. So
So you're like a little team, you know?
yeah,
Well,
we do it.
Yeah, and as well, he has been on the road going to a gig with his other band, Men Without Shame, and he phones me at an intersection and says, "Which way should I be going? Am I going towards Regina or Saskatoon?" He did, honestly,
Oh my God.
this is the phone call I get. So I'm kind of like the manager.
Self-proclaimed manager.
You are.
No denying it.
Everybody knows you got to text me
Yes.
to get any,
It's just because
to ask him a question.
it is, because it is very. My job and stuff is time consuming, and playing is time consuming. So we actually work out to be a pretty good team in that aspect.
Yeah,
But
and I do the books for his business.
Okay.
And then I work outside at a coffee shop, local coffee shop. And then running with the kids and everything.
Whipple tree.
Whipple tree, great. And but you know what I find hardest, or we do, is because you're working kind of a 9-to-5 job during the week, well, kind of like 6 to 6 for him, or
Right.
long hours. And you have to totally switch it around on the weekends. You play Friday, Saturday, and you're supposed to be back in going to work on Monday morning. That's the tough. That's the tough part. As we get older, it
Gets harder.
And I think even if we didn't travel and play, I mean, we would still be playing
Yes.
in our house. But we love that. We love the whole aspect of the friendships and the, you know, not just playing in your house for yourself. It's nice to be out and watch the reaction from people. You know what I mean?
Yes. Okay.
Just to have that. It's an emotional. For me, it's all about the emotional feeling you get, because you can just tell. Because some people, this is their one night a year they go out, right?
Yes,
And
and it
you're
means a
and
lot,
if
yeah.
you're part of that, so I really don't like I said, we have a place in our house that we practice and we jam and we have friends over, or me and Nick will just play music together. Or now our kids are playing music, so I mean I'll play with my daughter. She'll play piano. I'll play the drums, or I'll play guitar. My boy will drum, or he'll whatever. We just switch around, and it's fun. It's a good outlet for everybody, I think.
Yeah. So now that I guess your kids are getting into music, how is it affecting your relationship with them?
With the common bond. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Is it stronger feel to it?
It is stronger because we take them to a lot of concerts.
Mm-hmm.
We want them to see as much live music as we can, because that's what we do, so we want them to experience it as well. And they love it just as much as we do, so I'm glad about that.
Yes. You passed.
And our son plays guitar, and he has played piano for a few years, and he plays drums, and he plays baritone.
Wow.
And our daughter, she's 7, but she's starting to play piano and doing very well.
She taps and everything too. Like
Yeah, she dances. She's a very
Okay.
she was always musical, like
Very performing, sort of.
Very.
Our boy is very performing.
Yeah.
He's gonna be
He's a showman.
He's a showman. That's what I'm he's, yeah,
kind of like his dad.
he wants to be the center.
Yeah, so I guess like now that we're talking about it, it's not just the music component that's really important to you guys, it's the performance of it as well. So how would you describe that feeling of performing? Like there's something about it that you really enjoy, but like how would you describe it to someone else, I guess, who hasn't performed?
That is tough. You know that
Yeah.
that is it's something that it's just unbelievable. It's better than anything I've ever experienced in my life. Just that feeling. I mean, I've played 40 plus weekends for probably 17, 20 years, right? And so I'm doing it a lot. I still get nervous before every show, whether, and I can be playing for 30 people or 3,000 or whatever there is there. And I get nervous and I get all tense up. And then when you get on there, it's just an amazing feeling. I don't even know how to explain it. Your heart's pumping, but you're relaxed, but you're nervous, but you're just every emotion you have.
It's like a rush.
Heightened.
It's a rush.
Yeah, it's a rush. And then it lasts from, like, for me, it's about an hour before the show and till an hour after. That whole time frame is just excitement. Like you could not make me sleep in that time. I'm just wired, right? It's so exciting. It is. It's just huge for me.
Yeah, sometimes when we're playing, I get this euphoric feeling, and I always think if I could just bottle that up, that feeling up, and sell it for a dime, I'd be rich.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It doesn't matter if there's 20 people out there or not. It's more fun when there's more sometimes.
Yeah.
I think the people give you the energy.
They do give you
an energy back,
when they're dancing
but that feeling of making music, because I mean, it's like any art. You work hard at it, right, to get it to a level. So I mean, I think we're at a level now where we can just go out and play.
Yeah, which is nice.
It's like learning anything new. You got to work at it till you get it to a level where you're happy with it. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's just
but
where
you're happy. Yeah.
And then once you're at that and you're happy, it just opens up the door for some. Like for me, a big part of me playing is as long as I get people to dance, I can do whatever else I want. I throw my sticks around. I make fun of people. I bug the people in the band. I'm always trying to do something as much as I can because as long as I can play my beats and keep everyone dancing, everything else is just for me or the people to watch. Me do something crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
And you feed off of each other.
Yeah, and then I can.
Yes.
Sometimes you can like last gig we played. I threw a drumstick at a guy and he was playing a while with it on the stage, and then he threw it back, and it's just now I'm playing catch with a guy out in an audience, right? And it's just
that's fun.
It's cool.
What would you say would be your most sort of moving moment on stage? Is there some sort of, I guess, experience that you had that was like, wow, that was really moving?
I think it'd be more so if for me, some of the times where you stop and you got a crowd singing back to you, or it only happens once every few years where you got a crowd that's just, the energy of the crowd is, you can feel their energy. And I've had it a few times at one of the curling gigs where they actually got a video of it and the whole crowd is just going up and down. And that to me is just like,
yeah, there's
I know
3,000 people there.
Yeah,
wow. Like in Rock County's doing their thing and the crowd's just bouncing. And I just remember, I even grabbed my phone because I think I was just playing a kick drum and I was videotaping it because you could just get that excited. Right now I'm getting excited talking about it. Like, it's just that, and like I said, we never wrote these songs, but at that moment there are songs because that's how we interpret them. Like, I mean, if we're playing, we try to play them really close to how they're written and done, but there's still our interpretation of them, right?
Yeah.
So that, at that moment, that's our song for that 3.5 minutes, right? And to have people going and it's like, oh, wow. It's crazy. It's an amazing feeling.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. What would you say is the most challenging component of performing and, making music with other people? For
me, the challenge is first of all, because you're all passionate about what you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. So to have, someone have a different direction than you think either the band should go or the song should go, that's really tough because, I mean, you can have a song that's very simple to everybody and you have 5 people in the band and you can make it go 5 different ways, right?
And believe me, just because we're married
does not mean we stay in the same lane.
we do not sometimes have the same opinion.
Yeah.
But that's, again, we're passionate about it. So if one feels stronger about it than the other one or
Right.
whatever,
Yeah.
we compromise. And
So I think that's probably one of the hardest things would be that.
I think for me it's just the physical part of it. Not that I haul a lot of stuff, but we have the 2 largest instruments in the band. He plays drums, I play keyboards, and it's sometimes at the end of the night you're just, I don't feel like packing up, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Just
The cleanup.
physically.
You're like, no.
Because you've given out all this energy throughout the whole, and you're dancing for basically 4 hours.
Oh, yeah.
On stage.
Yeah, you're
Just
on
walking
it,
around,
yeah.
right? You get to sit.
Yeah.
That's the difference here.
So once you're done, you're exhausted. So
Yeah.
even though we hire production, we hire guys to do the speakers and the sound and whatever, but we still have to haul our huge instruments.
Yeah.
So that part gets.
And I also too, because we didn't wake up at dinner time to go play a show that night. We woke up at early in the morning.
Early in the morning, yeah.
So that's a long day, and then we drove so many hours, and
And then you have to drive back too, so it's
Well,
just
yeah.
the whole process there.
the next day you usually stay overnight.
Right, yeah. Right, that makes sense. Well, yeah, and I assume having that sort of that rush for that long is also pretty
It's very
exhausting.
draining,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just finish a gig and then go up to the hotel room and go to bed.
Yeah.
We never do that.
No.
We're always, the band gets together after we order pizza or whatever, and those are some of the best times.
Yeah.
It's just,
It's tough.
awesome.
It's tough. It's like running a marathon and get to the end and go to sleep. Yes, you're tired, but
Yeah.
you get too much blood flow.
Yeah,
and
there's
you're
too much going
excited.
on. Yeah. You're like, I'm exhausted, but like, woo!
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. So, kind of going back to the balance with your work life, because it is something that's so exhausting and all of that, would you say it still gives you better balance almost in your life? Like if you took it out, would your life not feel balanced anymore?
absolutely. Just for the fact that he does own his own business. If he is not playing on the weekends, he's working. So
Yeah.
this is our date time, in my opinion, because he has to go with us.
Right,
So
yeah.
I think if we took that out, it would be harder to do things.
Yeah.
And you'd have to be very present during like playing music, right? So, if you're thinking about work and everything, but then you go off and you're playing music, you're playing music. You're in that moment, right? You can't be thinking about work and doing it at the same time.
It's two different. It's just like a switch, right? It's either you're on or you're off, and that's for me. It's huge. It's a stress relief for me. Like to be able to get out there and just you just forget everything. Like
Yeah.
and it's,
Have fun. Music's fun.
It is. It's
Yeah.
a lot of fun, and you can people pay a lot of money to forget stuff, right?
Yeah.
They go
Yeah.
they go holidays, and I mean I get to just forget for those, even if it's not the whole day I'm gone. It might be those 4 or 5 hours on stage. Like you said, you can't be thinking of other stuff. I mean, you're in that moment. So you're there, and it's like a reset button, right? For your mind. I love it. I definitely love it.
It's almost meditative, I would think, because it's something that just brings you into a present, and it's also filled with emotion. It's not this sort of void space of like, okay, I'm turning off now. Like you're on, but in a completely different way.
And sometimes we take our kids along. Like if we get to know kind of which hotels we're staying at now. So if it has water slides, then we'll take the kids along. And like I said, we had good family and friends that have come along when kids were babies and to babysit and whatever.
But even that, like for that part, with the kids and that driving and the hotel rooms, and it's talk about balance of our life. That's a big part of our life because a lot of people don't sit down with the kids anymore, like even meals. But with us, like that travel time and that sitting in a hotel, what are you gonna do in a hotel? Well, you might as well talk. You watch some TV, but
Yeah.
you know,
Or swim
or water
together,
slide
Yeah.
together, whatever. So
Or if it's a new place, like let's go outside and explore and see
so-
what we find.
Yeah.
You know. So, Nicole, I wanted to ask you about your the Halloween cabaret. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the Halloween cabaret that you hold in Esterhazy?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I organize a Halloween cabaret every year. This was our 10th annual, actually.
Which is crazy.
Crazy. And the whole reason it started, we a group of our friends, we had a mums and tots group in Stockholm that we were trying to get off the ground, and we wanted to renovate this room, and we needed some money. And because we played in a band, we come up with this idea, like, hey, let's put a cabaret on. And because I like Halloween, I'm like, hey, let's do
You're
a
like,
Halloween
yes!
cabaret. So we started that. So we raised, actually the first year was very good as well. It was very successful. So we raised quite a bit of money to renovate this room. We also had help from another association in Stockholm. They gave us some money as well. But then it was, hey, that was really fun because it was going to be a one-time thing. And then people just gave such great reviews at how they really enjoyed it. And it was actually Men Without Shame and Offbeat. So it was our two bands playing for the first year.
buy our own gigs.
Yeah, basically. And then so every year since then, it's kind of I kind of do the organizing by myself now, but I get other groups to come in to do certain jobs, and then the proceeds go to those groups.
Okay.
So, and you've been at that.
I
cabaret before.
have. It's
So
excellent.
you could see we spend a lot of time decorating. We probably decorate three days before, and just quite a bit of planning and whatever. And it's exhausting, but it's worth it because, again, that's an outlet.
Yes.
You did the front part.
Yeah.
You did the decorating of the front foyer there. And
Yes.
and it was, you could just express yourself, and you come up with so many different ideas, and that's what's fun. Yeah, I have a great group of core friends that help me out every year, and it's just fun for us.
Yeah, well, I found with helping out in decorating, it was you had a story. You always have like a story. Like this is the theme, this is the idea, and like we're gonna have this like bride over here, and there's gonna this long lost love. I'm like, oh my God, there's like some like really intense drama happening in this corner.
And there might not be even people that had noticed.
Yeah.
But I think even just ambiance to me and
Everything,
atmosphere
yeah.
is very important. Whether you're playing music, whether you're putting on a cabaret. When you put on a cabaret, and I think it's because we have played so many cabarets, you get to know what makes
works and what
what
doesn't.
works. People want to feel. They want to feel comfortable and cozy. They don't want bright lights on them. They don't want. We kind of cut down the hall a little bit with some dividers to make it feel cozier.
Yeah, because you don't want it to be like all really
Yeah,
widespread.
right.
You're like, oh, I'm in the middle of a
And
huge room.
People
Yeah,
have,
people
have
wanna
more
feel
fun
cozy.
when they're
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we're really close.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just like step back and look at me the whole
Yeah.
time.
And I would say, what would you say? 80% of that hall, 90% was decorated. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
decorations are huge. And a lot of times people don't like, even from my point of view, like when I walk into a place, I don't really notice the decorations so much as you just feel it, right?
You feel the
It's like,
decorations, yes.
That was cool. And then all of a sudden, oh,
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah.
You don't even realize what it was, but it sets a mood that you're, that
Yeah.
you just feel more so than, I mean, some people see, I'm not the guy that sees, I'm more of a just, I
Yeah.
felt different.
Yeah, most people are like that
Yeah.
though, I find. Unless like you're someone who, does those things, then you'll notice
Yeah.
it. But otherwise, it's kind of like, it's like feeling alchemy. You just kind of walk in, you're like, ooh, I feel like
Yeah.
this and this and this. And I'm sure that really helps with, kind of focusing the energy of your performance as well, the venue of it.
absolutely.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
the venue would be a
Yeah,
pretty
and
critical
we've
component.
over the years, over the 10 years, we've had some great bands. I bring in some friends of ours that are in bands, but just some bands that I thought were interesting, so we get them. And again, just another live venue for them to play because it's getting less and less the places for live bands to play.
Oh yeah.
So it's I want to keep that 2-band thing going a night, and yeah, it's been working.
So, so you're saying that live performances, there's less of them coming in now. Why do you think that is?
It's just a fact. Our bass player, he in the, what would it be, in the 70s, 80s.
Okay.
It's a little bit older than us.
Oh, okay. I see.
But he used to play, I love that.
Yeah.
He used to play 6 nights a week. His dad,
Whoa.
their band used to play 5 nights a week.
6 nights a week, yeah.
He would come home, work, go to Regina or wherever, play a gig, come home, have a family. It was insane.
Wow,
But
yeah.
even Irv, our bass player, said that it's there's no band does that anymore.
But there's no gigs. Like, I mean, even when I started, there used to be the Thursday, Friday, Saturdays.
Yeah, we did Thursday, Friday, Saturdays.
Right.
Now maybe they have just a Saturday.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you, because yeah, it's like entertainment is so accessible. You could stay at home and be like, oh, let's watch Netflix and have some like very professional thing
sound
to
is
watch.
amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And yeah, like it's just so easy to entertain yourself. What do you think is the main difference between going and seeing a live performance like you guys do versus staying at home and being entertained? What is the difference? What would be the thing that you would tell someone to kind of pull them to the other side?
Emotion. Like, prime example, a friend of mine, we went to Jan Arden concert the other day.
Yeah.
And it was, we were sitting there with tears in our eyes. I mean, you could watch her concert on TV and not get tears in your eyes.
Yes.
But because you're there, it's... I do tend to tear up. For me, it's an emotional thing. It's like they are giving so much to you, and you can just, again, and it's energy around you.
Yes.
People are there to have a good time. They love listening to the music, and I think it's the same on a different level for us, actually.
But people have to, I think, it's because it's easy. Just because it's easy doesn't make it right. You know what I mean? Like, it's to stay at home and watch Netflix. I mean, it is easy. But I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking people are eventually going to realize going to work and coming home and watching TV, to get up in the morning, to go to work, to come home and watch TV, might not be the answer to all. But to get out, when you see somebody, I mean, whether it's good or bad, being with people need people.
Yes.
You know, and to have, like you said, that emotional connection with people, to see what somebody else has worked on, right? Whether it's, for us, it's music. We work on music. Come and see what we've done, right?
Yeah.
You know, in that aspect. And we go out and we see other people play for that reason too, just because it is different. You can't get that energy from Netflix.
No. And I mean, you know, you can come home and sit and watch some Netflix, or you can go and see a show and you make a memory, right?
Yeah.
That Netflix session, that's not really a memory. Unless you do something maybe with someone else, like, you know, you're watching something and you have, you know, a good time, you're making jokes or whatever. But that's between you two. That's not the entertainment itself anymore. Whereas with a live performance, it's such a people-to-people connection, it instantly becomes a memory that you think of that's unique.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're just on a smaller scale.
Yeah, and I think that's an interesting comment you were saying, you know, like people are going to realize, you know, you go home and you chill and whatever, and then you go to work and you just keep it going. It's a very habitual cycle, right? It's just easy to do that, but it's worth breaking it.
Because we've had it happen where we get home into a rut where we're just, you want to stay at home because, you know, one of us is sick or something, right? So you stay at home that day. And then, I stayed home the next day. And all of a sudden you stayed at home for a week and a half. Then you realize, well, we could stay home tomorrow.
We can stay home forever.
You just get into that.
Yes.
But when you're out and about, when you have those connections with people or whatever it is, whether it's going for a meal or whether it's going to an art show or whether it's going to a live band or whatever it is, right? And you get out there and you start talking to people and you're like, there's lots happening, whether you're in a small town or in a big city. There is actually lots happening if you go find it.
Yes. No, it's so true. It's so easy to get into that sort of rut. Like once you're doing it for a while, it's just that energy is like, oh, like there's a thing that's happening in town. You're like, nah, I don't feel like it. It's so easy to just, I don't feel like it. Yeah. But it's so worth just going and doing and being like, just, we're done, let's go, let's do it.
Well, that's like we always say, like a lot of times if I don't want to go because, you know, I played or something or you played or whatever, and she's like, oh, we're supposed to go to this thing in town, we should go to it. I'm like, no, I'm tired, right? And then it's like, okay, let's just go for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's just go. And that
Famous last word.
Yeah, let's go for 10 minutes. It's not going to be 10 minutes.
But the best way to convince yourself to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
totally.
say, okay, go. Don't have to like, okay, well, you're supposed to dress up. You don't just get some clothes on and go for 10 minutes. And if you're not having fun, go home in 10 minutes.
Yes.
But most time, like
Most of the time, we're
we're
the last.
the
to leave.
last. One. Once you get out there, like, oh, this is so much better talking to people, or than staying at
Well, you get
home.
invigorated. It's almost you get recharged through
Yeah.
these events, right? Like, yeah, I can come into something and have no energy, but then through the event you get energy because you're feeding off of everyone else, right? You're not this like stagnant sort of close off system. You're just it's but goes both ways.
Yeah, you give
Totally.
it and take, and I just think there's too much in this world that people don't get to see. And like I said, we're excited about Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Alberta that we get to see in our band, right? Like, oh, we got to see this little bit of this small of a world,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we're excited about that. So there's no reason not to be out checking out bands or whatever, because there is so much to see.
There is always so much
and there's
to see.
always, I mean, you can take good and bad out of every situation. So like, you're gonna go and you're gonna see great musicians, you're gonna see bad musicians, but there's always some fun gonna be happening. So.
In any genre, we've gone to see a lot of different. Any live music is good to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's country or rock or whatever, or
Yeah,
bluegrass.
we get asked. We got asked by friends, you want to come see whoever? I can't remember the name. And we're like, yeah, we're in. Where is it? Hey, John. Yeah, let's go. And they're like, do you know who it is? I'm like, never heard of him. Never heard of him.
Let's do it.
Let's go check it out. Maybe
Yeah.
it's the best thing we've ever seen, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Totally. And you could actually, discover you like something new by doing something like that. You're like, whatever. Yeah, we'll do it.
Well, I had one of my favorite bands is Tower Power, and when we got married.
Tower Power.
Tower Power.
That's not that sounding. I don't know them.
You don't know Tower Power?
I don't know them.
So, okay.
funk band
It's a
that's
funk-
in the
Oh, okay.
60s,
Oh,
70s.
just love them, right? So on our for when we got married, we give away CDs. So
We made like a mixed
mixtape, because
tape
that's
on a CD.
Okay.
cool back then.
Yeah, I'll make you a mixtape.
Yeah. So where
Yeah.
we go? Oh, so yeah, anyways, our wedding was another thing we should talk about, that we had, because we're both musicians, and we wanted to have our friends and family, whatever, and we have family members that play, and we have friends that play, and so then we started, okay, let's just have a big wedding and have a lot of fun. So we had probably about 700 people at our wedding, 700
At
plus
the dance.
at the dance.
35 for supper.
700.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was
35
like,
for supper. Yeah.
what? Oh my
and
god.
then we had 5 bands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
So they kind of each played a set, one being our band.
Yeah.
So it was special.
Oh, so you played at your own wedding?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, the first band was guys I played with, like polka band, right? And then the second band was
Your dad's band.
My dad
that
band.
got back together after 15 years of not playing.
Wow.
And they did such a great job. They
yeah,
were
they
so
even rehearsed.
excited. Yeah.
They rehearsed before the show.
So that was special to have.
That's
that
awesome.
was
dad
very cool.
playing it, because I had never heard him in his band. Like
Really?
he kind of just he didn't want to play drums too much after. I don't know.
After
why
we
is
were
that?
old enough to start doing stuff ourselves,
Yeah.
Dad wanted to be at home more. So
Yeah. So there was that, and then we had just another kind of a more rock band, and we played, and then we had kind of a jam band at the end. So whoever
just-
wanted to come up.
yeah, and some of your relatives and our friends, and it's like, hey, you guys should all just get together and make music for us. I'm like, yeah, of course. Musicians are like that, right? Of course we will. So we had it was a great time, actually.
That's amazing. That's quite the quite the memory.
Actually,
you
it's
know?
funny 'cause we
like
went to,
I don't even know how to describe it. That's so intense.
We went to,
Small town,
so you know
we had
everybody.
big families, yeah.
We went to Dauphin Country Fest for our honeymoon pretty much like the next day. And we were camping, setting up a camp or whatever we were doing. And this guy next to us like, where are you from? And we're chatting. We're like, oh, we're from Estrie. He's like, I heard this crazy story about this wedding in Estrie. They had like 700 people and they had like 5 bands. And we're like, yeah. Well, you guys were there. We're like, that was us. So it traveled pretty fast, actually.
Well, no kidding. That's such an extravagant, like, big, also like community event. You know what I mean? Like that you brought a lot of people together under sort of one event.
It was fun, and people would call and say, you know, we had so much fun at your wedding, and thank you for including our kids, because the kids could come and we had balloons
Yeah.
and
Oh my
they-
God.
they
I
could
wish I was
dance and-
born for this.
Yeah. So it was very special to us, obviously, because it was
Yeah.
our wedding, but we incorporated what we
Well, we
loved.
wanted out of it.
And then the mixed tape.
Oh yeah, that's where I started this from.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, I had this tape. So we had the song, our song that we met with or whatever. All
Yeah, so we had our song.
Whatever.
Whatever song. So we had our song, we kind of like labeled our song,
song.
and
Okay.
then Neil's favorite song, my favorite song.
my favorite band or whatever it
Yeah.
was, right? So I had Tower of Power on there, thinking on James Brown, and friends of ours who got tape, they listened to it because I mean that's what you did. You didn't go to the internet to get songs. You listened, right? So
Yeah, you burnt.
so friends of ours, they're like, this Tower of Power is amazing, right? So they started listening to it. So it was, I don't know, a few years later, we went with them. We flew to Vegas to watch Tower of Power because Tower of Power don't tour up in Canada. So we went down there. And actually, we went twice now to see them. They're so
Yeah.
good.
But our friends didn't know about Tower
No,
Power
didn't,
until that disc.
Disc.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of.
And now they're huge fans of Tower of Power.
Yes.
So it's crazy. And that's
That's
one of those
awesome.
things of, it was one of those, hey, if you ever hear of them coming around, we should go. And then like a week later, they're in Vegas, let's go. Oh, I'm so tired. Let's go.
Let's go. Just 10 minutes, don't worry.
We'll just stay for 10 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's so awesome. Wow, that wedding though. I can't get over that. That's crazy. It really reminds me because that like immediately reminded me of this other wedding I'd gone to when I was like, I don't know, 16, and it was like a big Ukrainian wedding, and but the bride and groom, they were both part of dance groups, so it was like dancing extravaganza, like insane, and I've never been to a wedding like that ever since. I was like, and I think it was the first wedding like that I actually could remember going to, and I was like, that's amazing, weddings are awesome, and then I was like, wait, what? What is this?
This is not a wedding.
This isn't a wedding. But yeah, it was the art form that really brought
Right.
the event to like, it gave it life basically. And yeah, like even just thinking about like theoretically what your wedding could have been in my mind, like, you know, the music is what brought it to life, right?
And
Yeah.
brought everyone together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say is there a difference between you guys, you know, sitting here and performing you? Like, are they kind of two different types of yous?
Yeah, for me there definitely is. I mean I'm a goofball either way, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, how is it too much different?
but I mean when I go out there, I'm just whoever I want to be when I'm on there. I could care less what people are thinking or doing or whatever. Like, I mean, I am in the Men Without Shame. I wear 6-inch platform boots and a feather boas
Awesome.
and sparkly shirts and hats and I mean I buy most of my clothes for that band in the girls department. So I mean,
Value Village.
a Value Village. I mean, the 70s, even the Saskatchewan 70s guys didn't dress that cool, right? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
in the 70s, the girls in Saskatchewan had like these glitter vests on or whatever. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I buy a lot of girl stuff. So obviously I'm changing who I am when I'm
Yeah.
on stage a little bit. And then even rock canyon, we go out there. I mean, it's. I would never have the confidence just to walk out on stage. I don't think with hundreds of people looking, but when it's showtime, you are just that like. I'm a drummer now. I'm not.
Yeah, you
Neil,
kind of
right?
transform.
Yeah, like and I mean, when you work all day or you have kids, I mean, you have to have your serious moments and you got to be your thing. But when you're playing music, it's just about having fun, right? So you are a different personality. I feel anyway.
So would you say that you almost become a character of yourself when you're on stage, where it's yourself, but it's like you playing yourself?
Yeah, I feel like for me, I just emphasize the parts of me that I would really like to be more of, you know, like that goofy or that funny or that silly or whatever. I just push that even more to the max. That's for me a big part of it, because you know, there's no one to tell me I can't.
Yeah.
You can't go to the office and be this goofy guy.
Yeah, be like, you can't wear those shoes.
Yeah.
Like,
I shouldn't say that. I'm pushing myself more. Like, I want to wear more feather boas, but no. No, you can just be whatever you want, right?
well, I'm sure it helps kind of getting into the role too. You know, you have like, you get into it and you feel like a different person. Like, I'm sure you feel like a different person in like 6-inch platform sparkly boots.
You do. You walk different. You talk. Like,
you
feel
you move differently.
Yeah. It is cool to be able to have that two lives. Never really looked at it that way, but yeah, you have that dress up. You get to be a kid, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
us, it's like
You get to be whatever you want. It's just like
dress up time again. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is a very transformative experience. Like, it's a full body, like, physically you're dressed differently. You're in a different zone. You have this rush. There's like the energy, the music, and like you're creating this entire sort of immersive world when you're performing.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
It is a good way to say it. Yeah, you are. It is. You are creating that. Like I said, if it's that one night that person goes out that year, you're trying to create that. Like, this has got to be special. You got to create that memory, right? That's.
No, it's so true. And there's like just thinking about, I'm thinking about like what memories come to mind. Like, they're all very like, at a place, sharing something with a person. Like, I remember somewhat clearly, the Christmas party last year. And I remember you guys playing, and I remember it so distinctly because Estienne dropped me while we were dancing. But that was a great time. It was so good. And it was such an like immersive, like, I don't remember like anything outside of that like moment. Like, that was just it, and it was the music and the lights and the like in the motions of us like dancing together, and it was awesome. And like I still, like, it's a year ago now, and I still remember it like perfectly.
Yeah,
That's right.
and that's what I guess in life you're trying to get is those little memories, right?
Yes. Yeah, and I think art is a fundamental key to getting those memories.
Oh yes, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, sharing that sort of creativity. Do you think that everyone has the capacity to be creative?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Whether it be.
Look at me, I'm a drummer.
But whether they sing, they speak, maybe you write poems, maybe you make bracelets. I don't know. It's just
Everyone has their capacity for it. Everyone has their medium.
And that's the thing about art or music or whatever. I mean, not everyone likes the same things. So, I mean, what's good to me might not be good to you, right? Whether it is in music or whether it is in art. I mean, so anybody can do anything as long as they're doing it for themselves.
Right.
Yeah, they're feeling it.
If they're passionate about it. And I think, like, we didn't start playing music for people.
Right.
We started playing music for ourselves. Right?
Yes.
I started playing the drums. I hauled those drums in and out of the van, and I set them up, and I played them, and I put them back, and all for my. I was a kid. I wasn't doing it for anybody else.
Yeah, you're just doing it for you.
Right. Even at that point, my dad didn't want me playing while he was in the house. So I wasn't doing it for him, obviously.
Clearly not. Yeah.
You know. So I mean, I was doing it. I never thought when I was that age, like, oh, I'm gonna want to do it for people. I just wanted to do it. It was in me. Right?
Yeah, it's just in you.
And I think any whether it's doodling on a piece of paper or playing a guitar or whatever it is, I mean, if it's in you, you got to get it out, right?
Yes.
So I think everyone's got can be artistic in some way, right? Whether, like I said, whether it's a doodle or whether it's the Mona Lisa or whether
Find your passion.
Yes.
Yeah, and just go for it. I mean,
It's very important. in
what
life.
Jim Carrey said in that. Did you see that documentary?
Not yet.
No.
The Jim and Andy, I
Yeah.
think.
But the documentary about him making the movie.
Yeah. Yeah,
When
I saw
Did you
it.
see that when he talks about his dad having to, or change his plan of life? And
Yes.
he still failed.
Yes.
And he says,
that really hit me.
Yeah, you might as
that
well
was
do what
good.
you love because you could fail anyways.
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
you're
Even
gonna
if
do
you
it,
don't, you can still fail at that.
Yeah. So that's exactly it. Like, if you want to write poems and that's what's in you, do it.
Yeah, do it, because you could fail doing the thing that you don't
could be
care about.
You could
Yeah.
start a plumbing business and then not succeed. So
Yeah.
what's the difference? You
Yeah.
might as well do what you want and
Exactly.
give it a shot, right?
Well, and I also think, like, when you had said, everyone has their different tastes in music and everything, that's a great way of finding people that you really connect with, right?
Yes.
When you, I love this band, it's like, oh, wow, me too. You connect with that person on another level, and you have this certain closeness that you develop through having, I guess, appreciation for the same sort of creativities.
That's exactly it.
Yes.
Appreciation. Maybe you don't exactly like the genre. Even in our band, we play a wide variety. We play dance songs, so we like fun songs.
Yes, yeah.
But we play in a bar, and there's bikers standing on that one wall bopping to Rasputin. They would not. I guarantee they'd not listen to it on their iPod.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's so true.
So again, they have that in common with the people on the dance floor. Yeah. But I totally believe in finding your passion in life.
Yeah.
Whether it be through whatever element is very important.
I completely agree.
All right, this has been Roxy on Art. We were just featuring Nicole and Neil, and stay. I was so close. What were they supposed to say?
Stay quiet?
Roxy on Art. Stay. This
You
was
made
Roxy
it.
on Art. Stay classy.